Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share with you one of our latest favorite family meals that it has everything in one pot. It's a beautiful sort of, I'm going to call it stewed, but that gives the illusion that it's like really soupy, but it's not. It's a one pan chicken and peppers and potatoes and green beans, and it is just so delicious. If you have picky kids, they will love the chicken portion if they don't eat vegetables, kind of like how my kid's very, very picky. I've talked about this a million times. And it's also extremely versatile, sort of take it and go. I plan on doing this around the summer months, and I'll add zucchini, I'll add some eggplant, whatever's growing in the garden, and it's just delicious. In my shallow Dutch oven, I added some extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to season my chicken with some garlic and herb seasoning, as I always do. And then I do just a touch of Slap Your Mama for a little bit of heat. But it's a little bit of heat. I'm not going to add too much. And that already has some salt in it. But I'm going to add just a tiny, tiny bit more. And I'm not going to add any black pepper because that Slap Your Mama is already spicy. I'm trying to get my tongues. And I'm just going to turn this around and then just roll the chicken in that plate to catch any spices. And I'm just going to do this opposite side. And by then, my skillet should be ready. I was thinking that this would be a really great recipe for like Easter, on your Easter table, if you don't know what to make and you're not just doing a huge, a meal, you're not hosting a ton of people. This would be a really beautiful one that you can host with because it's very simple and it's really easy. And like I said, I can't imagine anybody not liking it. Okay, so once the skillet is hot, I'm gonna add my chicken in, but I'm just gonna wait a second. That's good enough. Now the chicken I'm using are drumsticks, but what I've done is I've just stripped the skin off because the skin's never gonna get crispy. It's gonna get all soggy, and we don't want that. I want this to be braised and tender. Think sort of cacciatore, but not. I'm just saying like cooking method wise, right? I want it to braise and I want it to be just tender and delicious, and I'm not gonna get that if I leave the skin on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start with some vegetables. I have this bell pepper here that I had in my fridge and needs to be used up. And I love to cut the peppers into nice big chunks because they are sort of part of the meal, right? It's not here for just a little flavor. The bell pepper is here really as a vegetable. And it's so good, and it just gets saucy and delicious and tender. I love it. It's probably my favorite. Well, the potato is my favorite part. Let's be frank here, okay? You know me, but the pepper does add such deliciousness. Chicken developed some color. I'm gonna go ahead and add in the peppers and onions. Don't worry if a few of those spices get a little more toasty than they should have. It's all good. Let me grab a wooden spoon. You're gonna just saute them until they become tender. Shouldn't take too long. Tender crisp. I don't want them to be fully mushy. Not what I'm looking for, but maybe 5-6 minutes. Adding in my garlic. You know the garlic only goes in for like 30 seconds. Oh, I think an onion flew out. I'm just chopping some potatoes. I want them in nice large chunks because again, it's part of what you're gonna eat as a whole meal. So I want it to be pretty substantial. I'm not using a ton of potatoes because, to be quite honest, this is going to just be for husband and I, okay? Which is perfect. If you wanted to, I'm going to give it the option. I do it both ways. At this point, you could go on and add some white or red wine, okay? I'm not going to simply because I've been using some Guinness recently, so I'm just going to opt it out. But it is delicious with a splash of wine. I'm adding some chopped tomatoes. You can also use a can of tomato sauce. A little bit of stock. Like that. Let me get the chicken back in. And then once I get the chicken in and the potatoes, oopsies, then I can see exactly how much more stock I need because I just need to make sure that there's enough liquid to come about halfway up the sides. I'm definitely going to need more liquid than that. You should need about, I would say, 3/4 of a cup, and then the potatoes just get nestled around. And the green beans go in at the last minute so that we don't cook them to mush, although you could. If you want your green beans cooked to mush, you certainly can. Nestle the potatoes in the broth because potatoes do need liquid to fully cook through properly. There's very, very little that is, I think I can handle an overcooked steak, but I cannot handle an undercooked potato, right? So that's good. As it starts to bubble, it'll surround the potato really nicely. I'm going to partially cover this with a lid, and I'm just gonna let it simmer on like medium low for like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour or so. I want the potatoes to be really nice and tender. Then we will add our green beans, which mine are already prepped. They are thin little French green beans, which I love, but more on that in a bit. You can see the chicken is falling apart. The liquid has reduced. The potatoes are about tender. And now I just take the green beans, and like this is just the last like 10 minutes of the cooking time. And I like to surround the pan. And the bigger pan you use, obviously, the more you can add. And I don't do anything to them. I just rinse them and I trim them, and that's it. That's all I do. That's good enough. Lid on, 10 more minutes. They will be nice and tender, crisp. So you will have your tender potato, your beautifully bright green beans that are slightly tender crisp, and your fall apart chicken, and it is divine. We'll give everything one last final season at the end, fresh chopped parsley to adorn everything with, and it's time for dinner. How easy is that? And tell me that wouldn't be a great thing to entertain with around Easter time if you're not planning on having a big to-do. But like, it's perfect. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. I just turned it off. I want some fresh parsley for that fresh goodness. I'm gonna hit the green beans with a little, I'm gonna hit everything with a little salt, okay? I like flavor, okay? Oh, it smells, oh, so good. So good. I am shocked that I can get my kid to eat this chicken, okay? Because if it ain't a cutlet, it's really hard that she'll eat it. Although she does love grilled chicken thighs in the summer. It's the most bizarre thing. Loves them. Get some of them taters, so those peppers. I've got the wrong spoon for the sauce, but it's okay. You got the gist. Look at that beautiful sauce. I definitely have the wrong spoon for that sauce, but it's okay. You get the point. I'm just salivating. I got my knife and fork over here. I've been waiting for this. Oh, look at the chicken. Look at the chicken. Look at this. Meow. Meow. So tender. How lovely is that? It smells fantastic. It melts in your mouth. It is so delicious. It melts in your mouth. Let's get a green bean. Green bean. They're tender, but they're slight crisp. If you want them really mushy, because I know some people like it that way, add them in a little sooner. And then, you know, the potato is my favorite part. The potato is my favorite part of anything. I saw a meme recently that said, potatoes can be vodka, French fries, baked potato. It's like other vegetables aren't even trying. It's true. Honestly, it's like a perfect food. This is like literally, this is a slight crack by the way. Don't mind that. This is literally a perfect food. It's a perfect recipe. It's gonna please everybody. It's so delicious. I really hope that you make this for your family. I think it'll be a weekly staple in your house, just like it's become a weekly staple in our house. It's just so easy. Add different things to it. You can't go wrong. Go to LauraInTheKitchen.com for the written recipe. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.